You know, I can't believe I forgot about Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I've been revisiting it lately. It's a lot of fun. I'll tell you what I thought about it as a kid. I used to watch it when I got home from school all the time. It was usually on in the afternoon, so of course I watched too much TV, so it was fun. It was likable. I liked the magic. I liked the way it worked. The characters were fun. Salem was my favorite character. He had the funniest lines. And I liked sitcoms. It was a sitcom. I it was similar. One thing that is interesting about it is that it does seem to be in a similar style to sitcoms that you'd see that are more geared towards kids. It definitely has a little bit of that cartoonish aspect to it. But I think there is still a good character to it. There's still a lot of personality. I really got into it. It wasn't a favorite of mine by any means, but it was one I watched a lot. I really enjoyed it, really liked it. And revisiting it, I still appreciate it. The actors are very, very good, and Salem's still my favorite character. I still like how the magic works. But I will say there is some of the stuff that I liked as a kid I am past, and I do feel that when I rewatch it. And what I mean is some of the kids sitcom style of acting, the way the jokes can be delivered sometimes, and there are good jokes in there, but some of it does feel very childish. But one thing I do like that the trap it doesn't fall into is that it doesn't feel mean-spirited. It's very, very lighthearted, and it's a lot of fun. It's very pleasant, and I really get into that. I do feel this charm to it, even though I am past some of the aspects of it, and I don't think it's particularly funny. I think the storylines, they're fun, and they could tie in a little bit more. And sometimes I feel like episodes just stop instead of coming to a nicer resolution, but that's just my nitpicky writer's brain talking, because there really is a lot of good here. I definitely remember, looking back, season 1, it's not bad by any means, but I did notice the comedy was slower in the beginning. It did take a little bit, like a lot of sitcoms, it did take a bit to find its footing, find its voice, see what worked, leave out some of the stuff that didn't, quicken its pace a little bit. I think the middle of the show, I tended to like the episodes I liked the best were with Valerie as the best friend, because Sabrina had a couple different best friends throughout the show. There was an early one, Jenny, who was nice, pleasant, but somewhat forgettable. There was one later, Dreama, who I found really annoying and not very well written. She was so incompetent. She's kind of like Chelsea from That's So Raven, a character type I just couldn't stand. My favorite was Valerie. She was a good comic foil. She definitely... The actress is very charming, and the character is annoying, but there's still something endearing about her. And I definitely knew people like that, so there's definitely a lot of accuracy into how that character's written. She feels, of the best friend characters, she feels the most fleshed out. I do like Sabrina a lot. She definitely acts like a typical teenager, though I know Melissa Joan Hart was older, and I think by the time the show ended, she was in her mid-20s. Well, she was in her 20s when she was doing the role, but she still has a youthful energy. She's very fun. She's very positive. And even when Sabrina's not always, when she's not doing the right thing, Melissa Joan Hart still is very likable. You still root for her, and she brings this fun to it. So I appreciate that. She's a lot of fun. I also like the aunts. I find myself, Salem's obviously my favorite, the snarky cat. He was a warlock who tried to take over the world. He's cursed to being 100 years as a cat. He's fun. I have an appreciation for, I actually like the animatronic. I do like a lot of the effects. There's such a creativity to this show, and you can definitely tell when Salem's an animatronic cat versus when they use a real cat, but for me, that's part of the fun. I really like the aunts a lot too, Hilda and Zelda. They have a really good chemistry. They definitely feel like sisters. They go back and forth. They have a really good dynamic. And they're fun to watch. I will say though, the atmosphere of the show does feel like I'm watching a performance more than I'm sucked into the world and the environment, but I also find myself enjoying the creativity and the lightheartedness. It's pleasant, it's fun, it's likable. There are some good jokes in there. There are very creative ways to use the magic. Even some of the side characters, I actually really like, not actually, just, I like Sabrina's boyfriend, Harvey. Oh, he's the main boyfriend that, in the Sabrina franchise, they're adorable, they're likable. He's a really fun, easygoing, nice person. Granted, I haven't rewatched the entire show, but I've definitely watched quite a bit of it recently. There's things about the show that haven't aged well, but that's typical of a lot of shows. But I still think that the majority of it is still fun and it is still engaging. I like that Sabrina and Harvey, they have a good relationship. They like each other and, they have a fun time together. I like that. They have fun. I want to see people have fun. I want to see, there's definitely conflict in their relationships. That's very typical of being a teenager and being unsure. But I like that they overall feel like they do like each other and they have a good chemistry and they are fun to watch together and their dynamic feels fun and healthy and great. I like that. You don't see that much. The thing I did notice a lot is when a couple gets together in fiction. I saw this a lot in sitcoms and animation. After they get together, all they do is fight. And that's not fun. Or you can tell that the team doesn't quite know what to do with them now that they're together. Especially when a lot of the drama gets milked with, oh, will they or won't they? I don't get into those as much as I used to. But here, even if I'm at the point in the series where they're broken up, I'm still with Sabrina and Harvey's relationship. They're just fun and engaging and they're fun characters. It's nice. It's still a show. I wouldn't call it one of my favorites. I wouldn't say it's consistently funny, but I'd say it's charming. That's the best way I can put it. It is charming. While I don't feel quite sucked into the world and I don't feel like I'm part of this experience, I definitely feel like, okay, this is a set, I'm watching this, I'm at a distance, but there is more than enough good in it where I'm willing to watch more and more. And I do, even though I'm past, there's a certain level of cheesiness that I do like and I do get into, and some of it, I can see this show being too cheesy, maybe a little too childish for some people, but I can also see people enjoying it because of that. And for me, it is a mixed bag because I am past some of it, but it's also, I'm still going to continue to watch it. It's one of those that's a nice revisit once in a while. It's charming. That's the best way I can put it. It's harmless, it's charming, it's fun. I don't want to say cute because cute feels condescending, but it's creative. Creative, charming, likable. That's the best way I can put it. And it is fun to revisit once in a while, and I think there are still quite a few fans who remember the show fondly. I think a lot of people grew up watching it. Yeah. It's a cute show. It's very, damn it, I didn't want to say cute. You know what? It's a charming show. There, I'll end on that. It's a charming show.